Wanted to share my most keen interest property with you, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is very likely the property. Of course, it's half a mile off. Here's the blacktop road, or the asphalt road, and it's half mile off this road, so it's not right here in front of me. I drove down and took some pictures of where I think about a half mile is. It's 80 acres. And it's surrounded by mountainscapes all the way around. Let's see if I can't turn around while I'm standing here. And in this rendition, and those mountains are going to look pretty far away, but they are easily seen and pretty close. If you're standing here, here's the highway surface. It's really good, and it's this way all the way. This is about 30 miles south of Alpine, and then of course it's dirt road for about half a mile, which, you know, eventually I could gravel just to help out the guests who are trying to drive back to the property. If this is where I ended up, I asked them if they have properties, any comparable properties that ran along 118, which is this highway, so that I have frontage road. Haven't heard back from them about that yet, but I wanted to show you the drive. Hey, look, there's a car, so they do exist. The entrance that GPS shows to the property is this one right up here, but this gate is not open. It's got a chain and a couple of deadbolt locks on it, combination locks on them. So I couldn't get in through that entrance. I'm not sure. There are multiple properties back here, 80-acre tracts. Don't know why there would be a lock on that gate, especially since there's a for sale sign at the front. Looks like there is someone who has an awning and an RV already on the front property, the first tract, and maybe that's their lock, but this is the entrance that you're going to take me to. Here's the sign, there's the gate, and an EDR, which usually stands for some kind of ranch, and then a lock on the gate. So I'm going to contact the realtor about why that is and how to overcome that. It does have a combination on it, so I don't know if that's the realtor's lock and they just didn't give me the combo. But I did want to share the drive with you back toward Alpine, so you can see what kind of scenery and terrain you'd see if you're driving to or past that property. 80 acres. I'm researching it for anything and everything that might be a concern. But it is a beautiful drive, 30 minutes south of Alpine. Show you a bit of the mountain scenery. You see quite a bit more of it. The price is right. $84,000 for 80 acres. Hard to beat that. Of course, it is remote. It's lovely. It would require some work for sure. There are several really nice properties out here where people have proven that it's possible to homestead out here. A little bit of effort, a little bit of money. property off in the distance over here, which someone has grown up. It's probably hard to see it with all the bouncing around that the camera's doing. There it is. Tell someone's homesteaded, pretty good spread out there. Some trees around it, several structures. That's as close as I can get zoomed in. So it is. There's has to be maybe a little water tower out there too. I'll show you some of the other properties as I approach them. Hey, there's a pretty good little dust devil going on out there right now. To the right of the road, off the road. That's a good one. There's another homestead off to the left that you can see. Dust devil. Little baby tornado. They don't do much damage, but they're fun to watch. Driving alongside it all the way out here. Up there on the right, you'll see some orangish red rooftops. That's an old compound, but it's a conservation district. Government offices of some kind. I'm sure they're managing the ecology to some extent. This is definitely one of those drives where you want to make sure and stop for gas every chance you get. Quite a distance between stations. A long way to go for a tow truck if you break down somewhere. So we're coming up on that conservation compound area. Greenery out here, but most of it is what they call greasewood bush, which is very hardy and likes the arid climate, obviously, but it's toxic to humans and animals, livestock. It tends to hog all whatever water is around, so you definitely have to clear it all before you can really extract it before you can start to plant anything else if you want it to grow. I'm sure there's a stabilization setting on my camera that I've never fiddled with. Card. Another one. Must be rush hour. It is 5:12. It is rush hour traffic, and there is sheriff of some kind, law enforcement of some kind. Mostly what you see out here is, that was a rest stop, by the way, is Border Patrol. Mostly what you see out here for enforcement agency. I don't think that was Border Patrol. The truck wasn't the same. So it must have just been a regular old sheriff. This video is going to get long. You might say, well, it's all more of the same stuff. But the whole drive is rather lovely. Maybe more so if you're actually in it than just watching it on the screen. Happy little windmill out there. Someone's got the little homestead with a solar. So their windmill is charging up their battery at their solar station. Probably somebody who just comes out on the weekends, enjoys the clear skies, starry nights, unpolluted air, quiet crickets. Say there's wildlife out here. I haven't seen a ton. I'm sure they keep to themselves mostly, and away from humans. I don't blame them. So as you can tell, rolling hills and mountains and mountains and more mountains. Farm over here to the left. Let's see it from here. Tricky. Someone's got a good spread. Several structures. Big old entrance gate. Sorry. Get you situated momentarily. Over to the right. So it's possible there are people who live out here. Apparently successfully. Here in a little bit, I'm going to come up on that Border Patrol checkpoint on the way in or out, depending on your perspective. On the way down here, they didn't have it leaned off, but they do coned off, but on the way back they do. Yeah, everybody's gonna stop. They're gonna ask you if you're a U.S. citizen. You gotta look around your vehicle and see if anything warrants a search. I'm sure. Chitty chat with you a little bit, see if you're acting suspicious or sweating, and then send you on your way, or take you to the pokey, depending on what they think of your demeanor and your toting. Some really pretty mountains off in the left 2-hour drive to Alpine from this property that I'm looking at right now. Alpine has some shopping, grocery store, whatnot. Does not have a Walmart. Other direction, about half an hour, is Terraligua. I don't know. I haven't been to Terraligua, so I don't know. That property that I showed you, that I'm looking at, is an hour and a half drive to Fort Stockton High School. It's an awfully long commute to work every day if I decided to move out here, work the property. It's early morning, leave the house by about 5:30. Wouldn't get home until late, depending on what's going on. Yeah, there's a border patrol checkpoint every time you drive home, one way or the other. Up towards Alpine, the road's getting curvy. Give you the idea. Go ahead and share. Kids having you guys around to talk to, chitty chat with. Hey, look at my rest stop. Alright. Love y'all. Bye. Guess I can show my face. Bye.